Traded up in every single fight across that game, and overall we're the better team. But I think that at the end of the day, it's still hype to see Loud do so much. But I do still think it's a pretty daunting task for TES or for Loud to take a single game off TES.
Yeah, I think the fact that you had the Tom Kench as an answer to so much of what Loud wanted to do was a big issue, which is why immediately we're seeing the Senna ban trying to get that out of the equation. But it's actually Top who are banning that one away. So I am curious to see how Top want to try and respond, because with the Senna gone, Varus has kind of been their go-to AD carry. So does Root take it away here? I wouldn't be surprised, because I think if you end up giving that across to Jackie Love and Mako, they're going to be very, very happy about that bot lane. But you can still go for some of these more aggressive bot lanes if you really want to here, with the opportunity for like an Ashe Kalista, something along those lines.
If I pick Ashe Kalista now, you're prophetic, and I will treat you as such forever. I would love more aggressive bot lane options. Well, I think the Tom Kench did a ton of work, and the Senna Tom Kench especially, Senna obviously banned. You know, we know Jackie Love to be that 2v2 bot lane you talked about, and Senna, you know, Senna Tom Kench not really that spicy 2v2. So the Kalista at least confirmed. Will they go for support here, or will
I think you could take the Nautilus away here and just go for the hyper-aggressive bot lane, especially when you're playing into the Varus. The point-and-click CC is super nice, but it depends, like how worried about lane swaps are you? And I think that tells us a little bit more about how worried they are about lane swaps.
So giving that potential respect over, and also in the previous game, Cream at every stage of the game I think just played really, really well. Obviously there are a lot of standout moments across the board for TES, but just making sure that he has that power pick does make a ton of sense. Tinones grabbing the Azir here. Curious to see how he does on it. Obviously a champion that in general we consider to be very strong into the Azir. From what we've seen internationally. Can suffer if Azir gets a little bit of a lead and can start to just shuffle you on cooldown, but Loud respond, or TES respond with Renata. Fantastic, fantastic champion. Very frequently banned in the second phase.
Yeah, very good into the Nautilus. Also, for the composition the Loud are bringing, that you really want the ASOL to be able to play forward, use that flight path to get into aggressive position. Renata can do a lot of work and just try to shut that down, or at least catch him out of position. So I do think Top Esports kind of setting up well here in the draft. And now we're looking at a lot of jungle bans going to start coming through, just to ensure the fact that at least Tien will get a good matchup. But I am curious if he wants to go back towards the Viego again. He had, don't get me wrong, he had some good moments, but it definitely felt like he struggled at times in the positions that he was in.
I think overall, if like, obviously TES as a whole played pretty solid, but I think Tien was the weakest link in that game. It's pretty safe to say. Maybe he adjusts the strategy overall, though they still won. They still traded up for the vast majority, so don't really need to change too much. I like the Renata a lot, Rob. You highlighted it already. I think the other thing is the bailout is big. Even if you're going to die in the duration of the bailout, delaying the reset on Aurelion Sol's flight and team fights is devastating, because the fact that it resets is something that many people draw issue with, but delaying it by even a tiny margin often stops this champion from just devastating 5v5s.
It could be a point here where we just see Tien go back towards Sejuani or something along those lines, though. I think you've already got a very, very strong team fight set up. You just need to get some engage realistically for yourself. But 369 has also played a lot of tanks, so maybe they just want to go back towards that option. But I mean, aggressive bot lane, decent control in the actually I was going to say they don't really have control in mid lane, so they're going to be playing a lot off this bot lane to see if they can look for some sort of invade and plays for this Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
Let's set them up nicely.
The Renata Xin also feels really good, right? We've seen in so many games, whether in domestic playoffs or even here earlier in our series, you know, it's so easy to just waste cooldowns into the Xin Zhao ultimate, and when he's that much faster because of the bailout, because of those supporting utility, it can make things harder. But the Poppy, you mentioned it in game one. We didn't see it get picked up, but now it is getting locked in here. Not confirmed if it's going to be jungle or top lane.
Imagine it'd be jungle, and then maybe something like the Aatrox in the top lane here for Robo. He's a big Jax player, but that's already been taken away. Yeah, Cassante gone. It feels like you're going back in towards Aatrox with just the most blind pickable of champions.
Lane swap?
Okay, maybe.
All right, just for anyone who doesn't know, the second you see a Zac or a Sion, the lane swap alarm bells start ringing. That said, I'm not convinced that that would be the right choice here. But Zac, of course, still a relatively good top laner, loses pretty gracefully, offers a lot of utility. Similar to when Rek'Sai was unnerfed in a lot of our playoffs, just has an immense amount of sustain that a lot of top laners struggle to deal with. And it might just be the tank handshake.
Wasn't sure if we get the Urgos. I think could be a decent angle, but yeah, just the tank handshake. So kind of saying, look, we can do fine with not really interacting on the top side and just playing for these big team fights if you can snowball as top esports versus trying to delay and play a little bit more for that later point as Loud.
And by picking another tank that also does pretty well in tower dives, you've also covered a potential swap option, right?
I will say, though, the Poppy does do a lot to disrupt Ornn when you're going for these. Like, a lot of how Ornn plays around tower dives is E headbutts into the tower, knocks up everyone close to the tower, and then looks for a lot of the resets through that with his W and the follow-up CC, but the Poppy going to make that a little bit more difficult, also being able to disrupt the ultimate, so it's not going to be the easiest if it's a lane swap, but I do think from looking at this, we're probably going to have standard lanes.
And again, it's a hope. We're fans of standard lanes here. But see if Loud can kind of keep up the pace that they found in the previous game. Obviously, it's the first game on stage for both of these lineups. So wouldn't be surprised if we see an uptick in performance and certainly in aggressiveness. Very often, first game on a stage, especially in an international tournament, teams are a bit more conservative. Play a bit further back. Last game, maybe not an indication of that, as we were well over a kill. More than like 1.5 kills per minute by the end of that game. So if that was the less aggressive version, I'm very excited for game 2.
Yeah, this is a scary bot lane. Like, Jackie Love and Mako have got a ton of 2v2 kills, even getting like 2v2 kills against Elkin on in finals. Like, these are the aggressive guys, and you've just given them Kalista Renata, which is arguably one of the most aggressive 2v2s.
It's scary based on nameplates, and it's double scary when you look at what you gave them in Champ Select, right? This is truly going to be a tall mountain for the side of Loud to climb to bring us to a game 3. It's not impossible. See what the setup looks like. For now, 80 carries pathing to the bottom lane.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And you might not be able to hear it at home, but in the crowd here in Chengdu, there's a battle back and forth between the Gyos and the Vamos. Gyos are winning. They do have a bit of a man advantage, however, I would say overall.
Forward, yeah.
But that's not stopping the Vamoses from coming out. Both sides trying to hide as much information as possible.
Minions have spawned.
Oh, it is a lane swap. Var's heading top, past a minute.
Yeah.
They're committing. Now, I will say, if there is any top laner in the world that I would not want to dive, it would be 369, probably. Actually, pretty much any of the representatives of the LCK or OPL, I would rather not dive. That said, if you're able to present...
Pretty good at League of Legends.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good surviving. That said, if they can set up another 4-man dive, or 3-man dive, depending on what wave they want to play off of, certainly have more than enough tools to take out a level 1 Ornn.
So here's one of the things, though, with the adaptation that we're seeing from top esports. They start on red, which means TN will get an extra camp on this top side of the map. So this is actually a pretty big win for TN, because it means that now we can start to move into a position. Oh, he's actually going to steal 2 camps. So
are they going to see? Are they going to see Poppy? Are they going to see Poppy? They see Croc walking in, but Cream thinks that he's on Raptors. Doesn't know that there is a Zac here, about to jump on his face. Here he comes, one big cheesy Zac, baby. Not a lot of damage though. Cream seems relatively unconcerned. Again, there's nothing for Robo to do right now, so this isn't too bad. But Rock not being able to knock back T into the wall is going to hurt a little bit. Robo, of course, starting with the Elastic Slingshot means he doesn't really have much follow-up whatsoever. 3v2 on the top side as Redbird is starting to wander down. Var's trying to push the wave in, but he's pushing in solo.
So this is actually used. So top esports get 2 camps, try to fight, but 369 might get caught actually here.
Knock up. Tinones is he ready to follow? Multiple flashes traded, a few extra stacks for Tinones in the midst of this.
So getting 2 camps, they try to take the fight. TN hits level 2, so they have the level 2 advantage, and that's what we saw top esports try to play. The idea is you draw Loud into the fight, and maybe you can sneak 369 in underneath the tower if the health bars are low enough to deny any sort of dive. But because 369 couldn't really get into position, it means that he's not able to actually tank this wave on the top side, but instead they're going to shift him into boss. And with Redbird having to move in to protect the top side, the push on top is slower, so top esports have the advantage there. And as well, you're going to be in a spot where you're able to shove. You've also got the 2 camps on the top side, so for Poppy, she's going to be behind in relation to TN because she just has less resources that she has access to now.
And additionally, TES obviously have the luxury of hitting the bottom tower, the one that is not reinforced for the first 5 minutes of the game. Loud, you can see how much longer it's taking them to hit even a second plate. They are a member down as well, but 369 Just walking away, they wait for the next wave to collapse. Very likely that TES will go a plate up or be first on the reset. We'll see what they want to prioritize here, but another demolish proc coming through for both the top side push and the bot side push.
But see, this is what I mean. So actually, you're going to just go into what's made. Cream is aware of this, should be aware of this.
Dash back. Oh, clean flash.
Much needed, because essentially now you can see where TN is. TN is going to clear at this bottom side, but Croc has nothing to do. None of the camps are on the top side of the map, which is where he's strongest, so he's just kind of in no man's land. So tries to make the play happen in mid anyway, because he's like, I got to try and do something. Cream did respect it, but just not enough, so has to flash away. And now 369 TPing into the top side. He wants to try and crash this wave, knowing Croc is more than likely on reset.
Leaping over. Difficult to die or to take out Robo when he has the luxury of that passive. Crucially, 369 was able to get a level in the bottom lane. Some experience shared over, makes it that much easier for him to survive. Now picking up level 3 as well. Robo going to need extra resources in the form of Croc to ensure that he can survive what is very likely to be a tower dive. Croc trying to hide in the darkness, but it's already warded. Knock back to the wall, good upfront damage without a tower to help. Things are getting very tricky very quickly. Good handshake, but the pullback is there from Robo as well. Passive going to get proc, but luckily at least one of the blobs is going to go under tower, however. Mako and Jackie have more than enough range to finish this kill off. First blood coming through from TES. 3.5 plates getting taken down. TES getting so much more out of this lane swap.
And Croc thought he'd be able to cover the play because he got the reset in, had the boots, had the Ruby Crystal, thought maybe I have enough gold spent that I can try and cover if TN comes down, because TN hadn't gone for the reset. But with the camps that they'd managed to pick up early, TN has the level advantage. So essentially 300 gold worth of resources off the level, and they're still able to make that tower dive happen, especially with Croc having used everything initially as TN went for that engage. So nice stuff by Top Esports, just playing off these tiny little advantages that they managed to.
And the timing on the reset is fantastic as well. It's 5.5 minutes, so the tower reinforcement is falling down on the top side. If Varus tries to mismatch, he hasn't opted to do so, but it's also 6 minutes when the Void Grubs spawn. So they're going to be able to walk top, play for that objective, at the very least trade, but Robo just doing what he can to force this wave in. 369 a little bit behind, is probably going to lose 1 or 2 creeps. Actually, probably just the 1, given that the cannon is here. So overall, TES way more composed in this early lane swap.
But that's the thing, look how many creeps are here for 369, and he's essentially even on experience with Robo now. So 369 going to win out on the experience play. You've also now got the 2v2 that you wanted in that top side, although Jackie Love and Mako are a little bit behind on the experience just as they try and clear it this way, but looking for the fight still. Handshake goes wide.
Good hook though, connecting onto Mako. Immediate Ignite gets taken down. Flash out from Mako, trying to get away from the hail of arrows, but Jackie Love laying down so many spears. There's going to be a big chunk on the route. Croc now trying to back away as Tien knows he's favored in the 1v1, and bot lane not really going to be able to show up for this play. Mako, though, blinking health bar. Cream ready to rotate through. Eyes on Jackie Love, though. The hook now coming through as well. That's going to be 1 kill traded back. So far, 1 for 1. But here comes the big old dragon, baby! Tino's coming in clutch as the double comes in for Root. Cream now getting chunked out here. Wants to push back. Gets 1 clean flash back from Root. Bloody skirmish on the top side. Tino just continuing to stack. The bailout is there. This is incredibly aggressive. Tino does get a couple extra stacks, but at the cost of his flash.
So the reason Loud are willing to play hyper-aggressive on that top side is that to get the 2v2 that Jackie Love and Mako wanted, they ended up sacking that bot wave, the massive one that 369 picked up, and is now abusing against Robo, but it meant that they were a level down. Root knows that, goes aggressive in the 2v2, especially as they miss the handshake on the top, which means that now Mako very low. Loud know they have the level advantage on Root, so they go aggressive onto Jackie Love as he's the main source of damage. They finish him off, and then Loud are able to follow up, but this works out initially great for Loud, but I think here you should have just called it quits. You'd already gotten what you needed for, and Cream managing to pick off Redbird, who just didn't have that flash available at the time, so ends up falling down as Cream goes in. And here Tin Owens has to flash as well, because again, we're talking about it, the bailout back up and available for Mako.
Just ruining that potential to find the kill. 53 sacks for Tin Owens at this point in the game. Cream leading the XP by a slight margin as the pullback is good onto Redbird. Ulti now coming in, they're gonna get the flash as well. Redbird doesn't really have the chance to stay, but good damage again onto Tien. Croc exactly where he's needed. No kill's gonna come through. Tien going down. No big bailout for Tien. Now Mako has to play careful, good handshake to make it out to safety, but what started as such a great pick opportunity for TES was immediately turned by Croc on the top side.
You have the level 6 for Root, to be used, able to get what they wanted, 369 trading against Robo, but this is kind of where the trade-off has happened. 369 got the lead that he wanted after picking up that big wave as the magic, or the not the null magic.
Spectre's cowl.
Spectre's
Yeah,
cowl,
you're
thank
good, you're good.
Picked up for himself, so he's a bit more abusive in this matchup on the bot side. But for top esports, they are quite far behind now in the 2v2. Jackie Love has just hit the level 6, but it's 3 kills for Root and nearly 1,000 gold lead plus the experience. Like,
Oh, they're going to scoop him. 10 ounce. Nice early bit of flight there, and when becomes lightning going wide means he does walk away.
so top esports going to try and leverage this now. I thought into Void Grubs with the way they're positioned on the map, but they're actually in a swap again from Loud. They want to try and look at Dragon.
Rock doesn't have a lot of follow-up here. 10 ounce already used the flight a moment ago. Doesn't have the cooldown quite back up yet, but they're really committed to making this play happen. Forcing out the ult from Tien. Traded for the Poppy ult.
It's a bit of a messy one, because ideally it is great to get that ult out of Tien as Robo gets
Getting him to Jackie Love. Ulting to clear the wave, just to threaten in case Jackie Love and Mako go for the dive.
It means, exactly, you can't go for the counter dive here. So Tien moves into bot side, wasn't going to go for the dive anyway, but at least Robo knows I cannot get dove now off of at least that wave. Trying to set up some defensive vision for himself as well, so then he's in a decent spot. You can see it in River, so that then he can't get any sort of counterplay. The quicker reset from Root and Redbird, though, means that they get to shove in bot. They can rotate towards Dragon. I think they needed Croc, though, to play with Tin Owns on mid wave, because Cream getting a good amount of damage, but isn't enough.
Just the edge of the Q hitting. Cream has to dash to safety. 10 ounce. Oh, trying to space it out. Obviously, once you start using the Breath of Light, you slow down a bit, so 10 ounce. Decent spacing, pushing Cream back. But Cream holding onto that flash, crucially.
At the moment, though, Loud doing a decent job of, from this position now, playing off of Root and Redbird's advantage. They find
Kind of Mako.
Croc
Only
is
level
here.
5. Croc ready to go over the wall. Has to Hex Flash, though. It's going to take a second. Oh. Thought they had the angle. Do get the ulti out from Jackie Love, though, crucially.
Still, they would love to be able to turn this in towards a Dragon or an objective at this stage, but it kind of feels like little wins that aren't really getting anything. Yeah, they will be able to push in. Maybe this is the Dragon angle, especially with Jackie Love's opening down, but Tien has just reset. He's coming back out of base with the Sundered Sky, so a big item advantage for top esports if they try to make a fight happen here. And Mako just ticking over to 6 as well is huge, so I think Loud kind of aware that they've run their course now when it comes towards the advantage on that bottom side. We just look to play for the lane states instead.
And again, we're in a situation where TES are slowly but surely building a gold lead. 17 CS advantage. And remember that 369 actually sacrificed a decent amount of CS to roam top ahead of schedule. Nice bit of ulti there, but there's the hostile takeover. Rout's about to get hit up. Tien taking a little bit of damage here, but has the ulti off cooldown just in time. Croc, he's got nowhere left to go. Poppy slowly gonna get shredded down. Double kill coming through for Jackie Love.
And again, it's just what we were talking about. Mako has hit the level 6. Redbird didn't have the ult available, so the support advantage with the ultimates coming through and sets up beautifully for Tien to separate out Loud. Even the push in mid for Cream meant that they couldn't have Tin Owns come into the play either, so Dragon will go the way of top esports.
You can see here, Robo zoned off the wave for the most part. Wants to hit a creep desperately. Timing on that, pretty generous. Redbird, Hex Flash in, the pushback, just barely hitting, but Cream now dashing to the side. Ulti gonna go and he has to flash away to safety. 10 Owns again, now following up this time. Surely the play works. Tien on the way. Is it gonna be enough?
The ult for Redbird, the ult for Redbird!
He's got the ult, he's gonna finish the job! Reset now for the Dragon, he can fly out to safety if he needs to. Pushback from Croc! Oh, protecting President. 10 Owns working out well for the side of Loud.
And they're going to rotate on towards top side as well. 369 knows that he's low,
Robo
but now he's under tower. They're coming.
Rest the team on the hunt. Train Conductor 369. Woo. A little bit of a hate train on the top side here from Loud, but they're going to just back away. Focus on the wave. Jackie Love! Oh.
If that was lethality Callista,
he's dead.
That could have been a very dead ASAL, but might be a dead Poppy instead. Cream.
Yeah, Cream going to try to blast on the safety. Successful thus far. Slippery little Yordle. Okay, let's take stock. Here we are, almost 13 minutes in the game. Grubs are back up. 10 Owns stacking, 115, doing a good job thus far. A lot of pressure across the map. They're now going to get the TP out from 369, it looks like, to cover the bottom side. And overall, we got carries at 1 item on both teams. It's really a lead for Tien that feels like the most important part of the map. You highlighted already, that item completion crucial, and he still has a pretty big advantage.
So the problem was you actually had a lead for Loud when it came towards Root, and I think they would have been able to play off, but the fact that they end up having a couple of fights go astray means that now top esports have control, and they're going for Robo.
Doing a little bit of damage to tower, waiting for the angle. Robo just gonna get shredded. So much damage on the top side, but now Loud want to follow up. Ulti hitting onto Jackie Love, immediate cleanse. Sidestep on the hostile takeover is big. They're isolating Jackie Love. Croc going in, trying to find the solo kill. Jackie Love, though, has the bailout. Croc needs to walk away. If this man dies, Jackie Love stands supreme, baby. Keeps on living. But in the meantime, it's Tenon's off to the side, trying to take down Tien. 2 fights across 2 fronts. But TES is taking both of them. Tien's still stepping up. I was forced to flash out to safety, and overall, TES just fighting that one so much better.
Jackie Love just about gets that bailout to make it a massive win for Top Esports. They pick off Robo underneath the tower. They will lose away for Loud on that bot half as well as 369 able to shut it in. But Robo...
Handshake. Robo interrupted. Tinos is on the way, but he's so far away, but it's the powered ultimate. It's about to hit 3. Knock up only onto 1. Tien about to get shredded. He has the reset, but he's in a bit of extra time because of the bailout, but now he can just fly face first into TES. Tinos, good setup. Handshake pushback from Mako is key, however. Root. Where's the arrow? Where's it going to hit? Mako positioned behind the tower. Nice sidestep, nice confidence, but he still gets clipped by it. And in the meantime, Croc is on the way. Jackie going to have to sacrifice the life of his support. Loud going to get at least 1 back. Grabbing the bounty as well, getting the gold a little bit closer, but already the counter punch is coming in the mid lane from TES. They're taking the mid lane tower.
Loud want to try and move over towards the Rift Tower if they can off the back of this, but I think they need to reset. Tinone's very low on mana, Root very low on health to Top Esports. They even start to push in towards that tier 2. They've already got a ton of vision established in this top side, so I think it's a rush to push out top wave and move over towards the Rift Tower for Top Esports.
Continuing to keep the pressure up. Almost so damn squishy. He doesn't have any boots. Definitely a tough game thus far. All right.
I think Loud had good control over the game. You can see that Root had managed to pick up an advantage, managed to pick up these kills, and a lot of it was Top Esports blundering on, trying to force the 2v2 lane. But after that, Top Esports find the fights. They get that quick reset. They manage to find the objectives that they want with Dragon, working off of Cream's pressure. And now it's coming down to plays like this where Top Esports are just outplaying in the moment. Yes, you get the knock up, but Jackie Love already had the ult off, knocks down Croc. They get the damage that they need to, with everyone turning to kill Croc. Keeps Jackie Love alive. And then again, Mako getting into the way to stop Redbird from following up. Even on the bottom side here, Tien as well with the ultimate, just playing to distract the 2 carries of Loud from being able to get into position.
And you can see the passion here in Chengdu, but it's another situation where it was similar with the Tahm Kench. There's so many moments where Loud, they almost have that kill. They're so close, but it's the Devour from the Tahm Kench. In this case, it's the bailout from the Renata that just stops that play, that turns it back in the favor of TES. And as you take a look at the MasterCard lane economy snapshot, yeah, all things in favor of TS. I think the one that surprised me the most, to be honest, is 369, but when you think about the sheer amount of pressure that's been put on Robo, the amount of dives that have come through, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah,
it's also, again, coming back to the fact that you gave up that massive wave on bot that Jackie Love could have taken, but it went to 369, just opened up for 369 to take very much a lead in this early stage, but now it's Root who's in trouble.
All called out, Root in trouble, but there's no immediate follow-up. Hostile takeover, not even going to clip him. Knock back into 369, but he's so damn tanky. Tien off to the side. They have to be careful. They need to protect this bar, so if they want to do anything here. Teno's on the way, though. Could be big. Lays down, isolates them away. Keeps them away from that vortex. Croc now trying to retreat as best as he can. Neither side able to find a kill. Flash still up for Teno's. Flash for Redbird available as well, so across the board, pretty close. The difference being TES now get access to the Drake.
A rare mistake from 369 on the Ornn. Tries to go for the headbutt onto the pillar he'd set up, but actually misses. Comes a little bit too short, and it means that then Loud don't actually get the big knock up. So Top Esports don't get what they wanted, but they still get the position that they need, so they will get Dragon. Tinone's going to try and move in towards this top side to pushing that big top wave. Maybe they can look to commit on towards the mid lane, but with that, I mean, you've got bounties available for Loud. You can kind of tell that this game is very quickly starting to slip away again as Top Esports just finding these moments.
Oh, Root, you don't know what's coming. Tien has the movement speed, but he misses the wind become lightning, and now Root gets to escape. Well, I mean, sad Skarner, very fair there. That very well could have been a pick. Root definitely, I think, learning the lesson there on stepping too far up on that mid wave.
We'll all get the resets going through, though. And this is where, again, you're kind of looking at Top Esports being able to control sideways through Cream over Tinone's should be in a good spot. You guarantee the mid play as well, because even though Root is on the Varus, he's just, I think, a little bit too far behind Jackie Love, especially with Mako in check as well. It's very hard to step up as the 2v2 into this matchup, so you kind of have to accept second.
Cream. Actually caught out here. Ulti coming in for Robo. Push back there, but it's a little bit late. Ulti does not connect at all. And Tino's is now going to be in trouble. They need to back away to Redbird from 369. Happy to just use the TP to disengage the play. Redbird wants to keep it going, however. Knock him onto Cream, but again, There's no follow-up damage there. Highly questionable ult, and the rest of TES is now barreling down to the bottom side of the map. Loud need to get the hell out because TN's on the way in. Wind becomes lightning. This is a turbo-fed Xin Zhao, and Loud know it. Immediately just gonna back away.
Brute and Redbird end up threatening on towards Jackie Love as the rest of top esports were starting to come down through the Loud jungle, so they couldn't get there as quickly as they wanted to. The top esports, a bit disjointed. They get the TP from 369 as Loud, but they have to be careful of not losing out on this entire bottom side when it comes towards vision and the push. Yeah, you can see in the picture-in-picture, the ult actually goes wide, but they were just trying to put pressure on to Jackie Love, so then he couldn't get down there as quickly as he would have liked to.
Cream immediately going to TP to the top wave, and then right as that play fizzles, keep the pressure up there. Baron in 46 seconds. It's a Kalista and Azir. These champions obliterate that objective if left alone, especially with the Ginsu's pickup from Jackie Love. Brilliant Soul, I believe, already using the second empowered ultimate of the game, so likely will not have it for this fight, crucially for the side of TES. And it was a similar situation to the previous game. Again, Loud doing pretty well in some of these fights, but TES just continue to trade up, continue to find more and more favorable exchanges. Now the charge coming into the tier 2. 369 here. Loud doing what they can to clear the wave with the Varus, but after that initial piercing arrow, they don't have a lot left to clear out.
But this is what you expect from the LPL second seed, is not only are they able to kind of hand diff at times, it's also just how they play the map, making sure they're able to get a decent spot again. Now, they did end up backfiring a little bit with their initial swap into the 2v2 on the top end of the map, but apart from that, they've been playing well off of Cream's pressure in the mid lane, making sure that they're able to get a numbers advantage when they're looking at a lot of these skirmishes and reacting well to what Loud are doing. And that's kind of the big upset for Loud, is this is at least coming from a lot of the interviews that we saw in the CB LOL, that they just haven't really been contested when it comes to their side lane control, haven't really been contested when it comes to their macro, and now going up against a team that is able to contest them on those moments. You see Loud doing a good job, but it's just the last little detail, the finer details that are just barely missing from Loud's playbook.
Yeah, that are escaping them. Earlier I said Aurelion Sol had burned the second empowered ult of the game. I was incorrect. He does have it now, though, for what could be a Baron contest, but I don't really have good tools to take a Baron on this composition. Aurelion Sol's sustained damage is not bad. Lethality Varus pretty terrible at taking that objective, so I can't really imagine Loud are going to do much here on the top side other than lay down some vision to make sure that they are not the ones to concede it.
It's a big wave being lost in the bot lane, though. 369 already on it, Demolish taken as well, so going to get some nice work done on this bot tier 2. You have two members moving down to try and contest, but that does open up top esports with timing on towards the Baron and the push in mid. Cream just going to be the one that shows, but do they actually try to commit towards us?
He spawns a soldier to bait Loud into thinking they're doing it, but luckily Loud had the vision on Tien, so they know that it's not actually happening. Rock walking in, Loud trying to leverage a man advantage here on the split TES. Jackie Love and Mako really respecting that choke point, not wanting to walk it around as Croco now slowed. Initial follow-up, knockback onto Jackie Love, does not find the stun. Croc now running. Ulti going wide from round is big. Tin owns good bit of damage. Hostile takeover there. Tien immune to any long-range damage. Redbird gonna get picked off before anything else can happen. Croc now turning, trying to come back to the rest of the fight, but there's 369. Croc now needs to run back into enemy territory. Here comes the choo-choo train, baby. But it's not delivering food, it's delivering death. TES finding the kill. Support and jungle down. That should be their Baron.
They're going to immediately move over towards it. 369 could move in towards this bottom side just to collect the wave if they really want to. Has the TP available, but actually going to upgrade himself his Ord item there. And now top esports, Baron and Toad. The TP coming in though. Loud want to force the 4v5, and it's with that big ultimate that you were highlighting, Dracos.
Ready to make the skies descend, but can they stop the Baron? Excellent pushback from Cream to deny the initial engage. Mako getting so damn low. The flash in, the ulti onto 3 in the pit. Tinones, this is your time to shine because the objective is already gone. You need to find these kills. Resets coming through. He can't quite make it over the wall. Crucially, TES turning the fight. It started so good for Loud with that ulti, but they don't have enough left. They don't have the damage. Jackie Love and 369 still standing. Double for the Kalista, looking to make it 3. They get the Baron, and they're gonna get the ace. Croc, the last man standing, but there's nothing he can do.
And now there is nobody apart from Croc who can stand in the way of the push from top esports. They considered Dragon. You can see Jackie Love moving over towards it, but they don't really care. What's a Chemtech Dragon to a top tier 2, to a push in, to a Baron buff that top esports going to look to close out this game?
You can see the potential makings of a comeback here with the Aurelion Soul ultimate, with the layering of the damage. But it's not enough.
Again, it's Cream, highlight moments. Ult out of Robo to make sure he has to flash into the pit. This big knockup is huge, right? But 369 is keeping the rest of the members out of position. They manage to get the knockback on towards the Aurelion Soul, and then Cream goes in, goes forward, gets the Leandri's Anguish kill on towards the Varus. And then Jackie Love is just able to hop, skip, and jump his way around Robo to his heart's content. He just cannot kill this Kalista.
In the extended fights, TES just keep coming out on top. They tried cheeky steal there. Varus, Q damage for lethality, obviously. Potential without damage of smite. 6.5k damage from Jackie Love. Scary as Cream was in the game 1, Jackie Love equally scary here in game 2. 9, 1, and 2, upgraded Rage Play. 3.2k Red Bull Baron power play already. It's only going to grow more in their favor unless Loud can hold here on the bottom side.
Pushing mid for 369, massive wave with the Baron. It's going to be hard.
Robo just trying to zone them back. Wave getting cleared. Extra stacks. Croc going to go for the knockback. Going to connect onto one. 369 waiting off to the side. This Horn ult could be big. Looking to lock up Root. Not quite going to connect on the Aurelion Soul. Hostile takeover isn't going to hit, but it frankly does not matter. Redbird going to fall here. Knockback there, but he manages to get a hook back. Tinones finally gets the ulti up. Excellent stun to keep things going. Mako now going to be in trouble. But the Fate's Call brings him back into Jackie Love's arms. And TES just continue the siege on the bottom side. Looking to just end it here.
Loud are so low. They'll take the in-hit, but they will back away in time. They try so hard to hold on to their base, but again, the ult from 369 in onto Root takes him out immediately, and there's so little that he's able to do. And with 4,400 Red Bull Baron power play
and a 10k gold lead
come through, yeah, it's so difficult now to try and keep this one up. Seeing as we start to set up Cream, happy to push forward because he knows he can always escape with that sliding glide. And Croc tries to get in position to come around, but Mako marks him perfectly. And then 369, who had got the push in mid, just sets up then for the follow through. Tien managed to hit the Wind Become Lightning thanks to the knockup from the Oran Horn. And Top Esports just followed through beautifully.
And I think it's so hard right now, if you're Root, to get any effective damage down. Hitting 369 is wasted.
Hitting Tien is wasted.
Yeah, hitting Tien is wasted. He just immediately ults. He stops any follow-up. They've got the resets. I mean, TES just using a lot of their team fighting tools beautifully to ensure that Loud do not have an angle to come back in these fights. Loud, one final hold, very likely. TES, though, I think, playing with a lot of respect here. Don't want to just rely on the hand ziff. Want to make sure that the entire map is working in their favor. Going to start by pushing in that top wave. We are only 2 minutes till the next Baron, 2:40 till the next Drake. It would be Soul for TES, pushing things even further in their favor.
It's going to be so hard to try and get there, though. Top Esports, they're pushing in both these waves, trying to set them up so they hit at a similar time, and just trying to keep Loud in their base. I think at this stage, with the pressure on bot side and the double wave contest coming through on top and mid, getting vision control to take a peep at this Baron is going to be so tough. You can see 2 blue wards already for Tinones and Root to try and spot it if maybe they can start it, but Top Esports can just wait those ones out and force Loud to face check.
Just continuing to box them in, making their base and the map feel smaller and smaller as they push up that vision line, as they take away more camps, as they start to bleed Loud dry. The Aurelion Soul's an angle. Tinones finally has some extra magic penetration on top of the Leandri's. Maybe he can get through that front line. 322 stacks. He's been doing well here to pick up waves or at least lay down the E and ensure that someone else is donating those stacks to him. But Croc caught out a bit here. Knockup not quite able to make it over the wall. 369 looking to lock up Croc. Tien flashing over. They want to end it right here. Tinones still has the ulti, still holding on, trying to fly out to safety. Jackie Love coming through. Keep your eyes on that Aurelion Soul ultimate. TES happy to have just the inhibitor. They picked up 2 members without losing much of anything. Only the Ornn ultimate used. It looks like TES just gonna siege out here. Loud, one last final desperate stand. The Zac getting respected though. They refuse to lose here, but focus on the wave coming in from Tinones. He gives the life of his top laner just to make sure the minion buff is there, but they've already got another wave on the bottom side. Loud are out of options. One final super ult isn't gonna do enough. Tien right into the face of Tinones to deny him that flight path out. Another tower going to fall. The Aurelion Soul does a good little bit of work, but TES can just focus the objective. However, Tinones is still standing. TES need to be careful. They can hit the objective. Instead, they want to take the fight. They've got blinking health bars. They can just hit the Nexus, but they want to end this one in style. Croc still stepping up. Jackie Love needs to just hit the Nexus. Tinones flying into TN wants one more reset. Cream going in, push back onto Croc. They want to end it in style. Not happy with just a win. They want to pad those KDAs. They want to make this 2-0 look even more dominant. Pull back into the tower. TES taking the series 2-0.
A confident win from Top Esports in the series. Slow, methodical, we got the lane spots, but just able to outplay on the map. The finer details just missing from Loud's playbook. And I think Top Esports, you kind of got to see just how strong they can be on the map, but also some of those moments were just like that topside skirmish where the bailout comes in at the last second for Jackie Love. There was just these tiny moments of heartbreak for Loud so consistently over the course of this series.
It was tough, right? A lot of individual members getting caught, putting them at a disadvantage, letting TES have a bigger gold lead maybe than they should have. 369 so clean on a lot of these engages as well. And I think as we got later and later in that game, it became harder and harder for Root to really contribute in those team fights. But ultimately, well fought by TES, an expected result, but not the games we expected. Certainly Loud standing much higher than many international fans would expect.
I mean, for an organization and for a region that has never made it out of planes, this would be an incredible moment. For if you can see Loud go up against GAM and then go up against Fnatic with a performance like this, I could see them taking the win there and getting themselves out of planes.
I mean, making it to stage 2 would be incredible, right? And we think about the reputation of Brazilian teams. Often it's those big upsets that we remember, whether it was Kaboom, whether it was INTZ against EDG, that allowed H2K of all teams to make it out of groups, right? This is a region that has to always be respected. No matter how many times we underestimate them, I think they continuously manage to find performances or upsets that are just so impressive. That said, it's enough from us on the caster desk. We're going to head over to the analyst desk with an interview from Mako coming up soon.
Hi, we're back here. I was actually looking at the fan signs because we've talked about how Top Esports is one of the most famous teams we have in China. You're not on site